All right, boys, you know what we got to do? We got to do the sound check. Make sure we're coming through loud and clear.
I got the stream pulled up on my phone.
And we are loud and clear. All right, here we are, boys. $1 Million Radio live once again. Ooh, a lot to talk about. We've got Jacob on the Zoom. We got Griffin in the stew. Welcome in, boys.
Sir.
Welcome in. All right, Jacob, just
Let's
don't
do
clap,
it.
why don't you? No excitement over here.
Get amped, son.
Yeah,
There we
there
go.
it is. There, all right, yeah, there it is. All right, so a lot to talk about. Jacob wasn't with us last week when we went over the round one games of the college football playoffs. What was your biggest takeaway last week, Jacob? If you can remember, I think we were all on Miami. I think it was you and me on Alabama.
Was Griffin on Texas A&M? Were we really all in Miami?
See, I could have swore I picked Miami. Like,
Well,
legitimately.
that's great then, because we were all correct then.
Yeah.
What
First
a clean
time-
sweep. What a great game.
First
It
time,
wasn't-
clean
it
sweep.
was low scoring all up until the last 2 minutes. But it was not a slugfest. I mean, maybe scoring-wise, offensive-wise, yes, it was a slugfest. But it just seemed like it was two. I don't want to say two great teams because Texas A&M was not necessarily great. But it just seemed like it was two solid teams in the playoff battling, against each other, pretty evenly matched. And it just came down to whoever wasn't going to make the mistakes. And Miami took care of the ball. Texas A&M did not, and that was apparent on the last play of Texas A&M's offensive drive to get towards the end zone. So very exciting game. I mean, couldn't really ask for a better opening game on that day.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It was a good game. It was a good game. We had a few good games, I guess you could say, or two good games, two not so good games. If you remember the Ole Miss Tulane matchup, as well as Oregon and James Madison, but
Not shocking.
I gotta take some things back, boys. Okay.
Well, see, I've kind of got some hot takes because I saw a post this morning that apparently JMU's entire offense is already gone.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
I did see that. They're gonna
That
have
shouldn't be a thing.
They're going to have to replace all
Literally
11
everybody.
starters on their offense, whether that's graduating or I think 7 of them hitting the portal.
Yeah, it was 4 graduates, and then the other 7 were
Yeah.
all going to the portal.
But I do have to take some things back because whenever the round one slate was announced, we saw the Alabama-Oklahoma game on Friday night, and then we saw the Texas A&M Miami game at noon on Saturday instead of in a primetime slot, and you gave those slots to Tulane, Ole Miss, and Oregon, James Madison. But I got to take it back because they were going to have to deal with the NFL having 2 games on that Saturday night. So it does make sense why they decided to put the 2 biggest games in those slots because of, the NFL rules America when it comes to football and sports in general. But that being said, we are set up for the quarterfinal round, and nothing about any of these matchups give me Tulane and James Madison vibes, because we start off with the Ohio State-Miami game on New Year's Eve, and then 3 of them on New Year's Day. And I'm very excited for literally every single matchup. What about y'all?
Same here, bro.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for the Miami and Ohio State game the most because it's just going to be 2 offensive teams going at it. Ohio State does have a really good defense, but we're going to have to see if Ohio State will catch fire, if their offense will catch fire like they did last year. When you have dynamic receivers such as Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith, I mean, you're bound to get some big plays. But with Miami, I mean, you got Carson Beck. He took care of the ball last week. He didn't throw a lot of yards, but he did take care of it. And that's what was asked for him, especially with Texas A&M's good defense. So that's going to be 2 heavyweights going at it, I think.
Yeah, but also the biggest spread of the whole round, 9.5. Ohio State is the favorite, over under 41.5. So you mentioned both teams have really good offenses. It doesn't really tell the tale in that when you look at the over under with 41.5 total points. It's going to be something
because Ohio State's defense is so good.
Yeah.
Well, see, I would think it would be smaller in that instance then, because, with how good Matt Patricia's been for Ohio State all year running that defense, which, they might have 4 first-round picks on their defense. I hate to say it, but it just looks that way. So Miami's going to have a lot of work cut out for them this what is it, Wednesday?
Yeah. New Year's Eve kickoff, I think 6 or 7, it's 7 o'clock Eastern time. But this is a team that, whether it was Texas A&M's good defense or it was just, the win definitely played a factor for both teams in that game. A 10-3 final score. Miami struggled offensively in that game, and they're going to have to go up against one of the best defenses. And it's going to be a tough ask for any team to beat Ohio State, especially here in the playoffs. But we did just see them lose in their last game to Indiana. That knocked them from 1 to 2. Obviously, that was the only loss they've had all year in the Big Ten championship game. And I think the Miami defense is a lot better than people give them credit for the most part. This Ohio State team, though, they're either the real deal and are going to do basically what they did last year, at least in this game, which is why they've got it at 9.5, or Miami might get the better of them. And if Miami keeps it close, I think the Hurricanes may win.
They've won some close games with some really good teams, and Ohio State's, no offense to them, they've not played as many good teams this year.
Yeah. Their one big game, Indiana, they didn't play Oregon this year. It was supposed to be a big game. Yeah, they did beat Michigan, but with everything we've seen coming out of Michigan since then, that's no surprise. But it did snap a 4-game losing streak to the Wolverines. But yeah, we'll get to strength of schedule in the next one, because I have a bone to pick a little bit. I mean, they're deserving to be here. I don't want to spoil what my point was just yet, but we'll get to that in the next game. But as far as the picks for the first game of the quarterfinal round, again, line 9.5 in favor of Ohio State, over under 41.5. Number 10 versus number 2. How do we feel about this?
Give me Miami.
With the points or outright, Jacob? I know you're a big outright guy.
Outright.
All right, you heard it. Jacob's got Miami to beat Ohio State New Year's Eve. What about you, Griff?
I hate to be that guy, but it's looking like shades of Columbus last year. Yeah, I just think Ohio State's defense is going to be too overpowering for Carson Beck and Miami's offense.
That's fair.
At least this go around, but that's just how I feel.
That's fair. My thing with this,
I hate that it's neutral site, though. I wish we could do something with these teams that get the bye week, then getting home field advantage too. Like, I really don't like that.
Whether you just make it bowl games in the semifinals or have home games for each team all the way up until a neutral site for the championship game. I do agree with that.
I like what Herb Street said a couple weeks back. Home games, national championship is the Rose Bowl.
Griff, we're getting hater comments in the chat.
Oh,
People
no.
think you're a hater.
How am I a hater? Towards who?
Miami.
Okay, I know it's Amber, but I'm not a hater. I just think Ohio State's the second best team in the country, respectfully.
That's fair.
Respectfully.
I mean, they are number 2. So I see your point. This is also, as far as the line goes, being 9.5. Like I said, the biggest spread of the quarterfinal round. Part of me wants to think that this is just what's the word? Not short-term memory, but being a prisoner of the moment or a prisoner of the past, where we saw Ohio State run through literally everybody last year, and now that we're back into this part of the season, the playoffs, where it matters the most, they think that maybe this will happen again. Maybe they just think that Ohio State is that much better than Miami. I don't necessarily see that being the case. You do still have he's not a true freshman, is he? He's a redshirt freshman, Julian Sayin.
He's a true freshman, I think.
Is he? I know he's young. I'm pretty sure he transferred from somewhere, but that could have been.
He came from Alabama.
Yeah.
So he
that's
redshirted at Alabama, then transferred.
So, I mean, he's played in big games this year. Didn't last year with Alabama, obviously, with the red shirt.
Okay.
But
my bad.
But with it being the biggest game of the whole season, maybe having a redshirt freshman in there as opposed to Carson Beck, who was part of the class of 2020 recruiting class that signed with, I guess he went with Georgia first. But Carson Beck's got a lot of experience in this as opposed
Not in the playoffs. Not in the playoffs.
Well,
last week was, or versus Texas A&M, that was his first start. Yeah, he played some garbage time minutes in the championships, but that's it.
But Julian Sayin has not made a start in the playoffs just yet. So
I know. I'm just saying that's not going to be I'm saying that's not like a huge like.
No, I see
we got
what you're
a
saying.
vet over here versus like a dude that's never like literally both of them. There's one game difference between them.
Yeah, as far as playoffs go, but I just don't necessarily think Ohio State is going to run through the competition like they did last year.
I don't think so.
Especially with them being a team that had the first round bye and haven't played since the Big Ten championship game. Yes, that'll rest you up. Yes, that'll maybe help injuries and things of that nature. But I don't think it's set up for Ohio State to run through everybody like they did last year. Maybe that's just me. But, so Jacob's got Miami winning outright. I'll take the Canes with the points plus 9.5. And Griffin, do you think Ohio State is able to win by 10 or more, or do you think it'll be more of a closer game?
I'll say it'll be by 10.
All right.
Not trying to be a hater. I just want to have some transparency.
Yeah. I don't blame you for that. It's nice to have some is it discourse? Is that the word I'm looking for? Some you get what I'm trying to say. We don't all agree
Dialogue.
on this. Something like that, yeah. But that'll set us up for the first game on New Year's Day. We've got Oregon, number 5, versus Texas Tech, number 4. Oregon, minus 2.5, over under 51.5. And this will be at the Orange Bowl. So this is somewhere where I was thinking where the strength of schedule and things like that kind of come into play here with Texas Tech. And the Oregon line opened up at minus 1.5. Now it's minus 2.5. So another point in favor of the Ducks. Griff, this is a team that you've been high on all year, or at least the second half of the year, especially as far as the defensive side of the ball goes. With them being now a 2.5-point underdog coming off the first round bye, do you think Texas Tech has what it takes to win this game?
I feel like they're going to show up and, take care of business. Respectfully, I know Oregon has a very high-powered offense, but let's see, what was the game? It would have been the first time they played BYU is when I noticed how good their defense was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we'll see what I was kind of getting at with this one.
Yeah, what you talking about? Strength of schedule.
What am I talking about? You want to see what I'm talking about? Let's pull up their schedule right here.
Who?
Texas Tech.
Let's pull up Oregon's.
Well, Oregon did have a game against Indiana where they did lose, at home. But
Zero ranked wins. I'm looking at it right now. 0.
Well, they did beat Penn State at Penn State whenever Penn State was still a contender.
They beat USC. So they have one ranked win? Because Penn State's not even ranked anymore.
Not anymore, but at the time they were a top 10 team. I think that was their first loss of a span of losses that happened before James Franklin got fired, before Drew Aller.
Yeah.
Things happened. But anyways, I've got this pulled up.
That's such a huge win, beating Penn State midseason. That's such a huge win.
My point in this schedule that I'm looking at is, and I don't want to make this about Tennessee, but if you give Tennessee this same schedule, will we be undefeated? Maybe, but we're definitely in the playoffs as well. And I get, the first few games you don't have to look at because everybody has, some cupcake games. But they beat Utah on the road, 34-10. They were number 16 at the time. You look at the BYU game that Griffin alluded to earlier, beginning of November. BYU was number 7 at the time, but I don't think BYU was ever really one of the top 10 best teams in the country. It's just, they kept winning the games that they had to play. But this is more of a Big 12 isn't that great point that I'm trying to make.
Well, this is clearly Texas and Oklahoma's fault.
Yeah, that's a good point with all the conference realignment and stuff. But if you were to, I don't know. They've got the 69th best, they're ranked 69th in the strength of schedule this season. When you look at strength of record, it's not that bad because they do win. I mean, they only have one loss to an unranked team, Arizona State, who was, I think, ranked at the time. But if you look at the strength of record for the teams still in the playoffs, you got Indiana, number 1, Ohio State 2, Alabama 3, 4 is Oregon, 5 is Georgia. So the top 5 are all in the college football playoffs. And then it drops down to 14, you've got Miami. 15 is Texas Tech. 27 is Ole Miss. Because Ole Miss, I guess they've got, is it just one loss for Ole Miss? I think they've only got one loss.
Yeah, they're either 11-1 or 12-1.
That is kind of interesting. Their only loss was to Georgia, who they do play this week. But I say all that to say this. Yes, the Texas Tech defense is good. I mean, let's bring back up that schedule real quick. You look at the last few games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of their last 6 games, they've let up 9 points or less, 2 shutouts in that period, but they're not 2 great teams. The one that they won by 23, 43-20 over Kansas State, but not a great team. I just think that with them going up against Oregon in this matchup, there's a reason why the line moved a point in Oregon's favor. I think the Ducks win kind of convincingly, maybe within one possession, and Texas Tech has a shot towards the end to tie it up or whatever, but I just think that Oregon is going to be better than Texas Tech whenever they...
I'm just confused about the glaze for Oregon. Like, they have, such an easy schedule. Like, they beat Rutgers. Like, they beat Iowa by 2 points.
Okay.
They beat
that game
USC
was terrible.
They beat USC pretty convincingly, and they beat James Madison. But we know James Madison is not the 24th best team in the country.
No, agreed. Okay?
But I don't. And they beat Washington by 12 points. If you give Tennessee Oregon's schedule, I think they may have even a better record than if you give them the Texas Tech schedule. And the one time that they had a chance to prove something, they lose by 10 points at home. So that doesn't. I don't get the whole comparison. Respectfully though, I mean I get where you're coming from. I just think that Oregon there's not much difference between the two. Oregon has had a cupcake ass Big Ten schedule too.
Yeah.
I mean, my God! I didn't mean to, I'm sorry.
No, we're good. No, this is why we have the discourse.
They've always, in my mind, Oregon's always been 1,000 uniforms, 0 natties. So that's my disdain with Oregon. It's just they've always found a way to lose in the big moment.
I mean, that's fair. I don't disagree with either of you guys, but whenever they take the field, I bet Oregon wins by more than 3 points. So I'm taking the Ducks minus 2.5. Over under
And
51.5. I mean, this is something where, maybe if Texas Tech's defense is as good as they should be or as good as everybody says, I don't think this over under would be set at 51 points. But
for me, I understand, but like if you're just doing it from a strength of schedule comparison, it's like, well, Oregon has not had a gauntlet at all. Like every year that they play nobody and they win.
I think this is another thing where we look at this conference realignment that we've seen over the last couple of years, where we have these super conferences with the Big Ten and the SEC. There's no way where any of these teams in these conferences that have 16 or more teams, I think it's just 16 for those two, but there's no way for any of these teams to play everybody or to play 3 big games, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many teams in the bottom of the barrel in these conferences that still count towards the conference record. They still, this and that, but they've got to play those games because it's just how it works out. There's just too many teams in these conferences. I hate it. We need the Pac-12 back. We need to go back to how it used to be.
Hell, bring the Big East back. That's what I want.
Yes, Big East, big Pac-12. Put Texas and Oklahoma back where they belong. Like, I don't know. But this is where we are in 2025 and soon to be 2026. I did forget to mention, boys, this is the last episode that we're going to be doing in 2025. How does that make y'all feel? Go ahead, clap it up. Yeah, clap it up.
Excited.
Yeah.
Hey, give me Texas Tech. I'm just saying.
Okay.
See, Jacob's hopping on the train now. Let's go.
Just give me. I don't mess with Oregon like that. I don't think they're that much better than Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech is a better team. I think Texas Tech may beat Indiana. That I feel like that may be what happens. So
okay, I mean, I'm here for all these games. I hope that they're all nail biters. They're all last second plays into the end zone or walk off field goals, stuff like that. But if it's
anything like how the NFL season's been, it'll be entertaining.
Hey, absolute cinema.
Shout out to the Bears and Niners last night. But yeah, that was a crazy game. But so y'all two are on Texas Tech, I'm guessing outright and
yes,
not
sir.
with the spread. What about you, Jacob? Outright, Mr. Outright.
I like the money line.
All right, so we got I'll ride with Oregon, give me the points with that as well. So then that'll set us up for the Rose Bowl, middle of the afternoon. Number 9 Alabama, number 1 Indiana. Indiana 6.5 point favorites, over under 48.5. Griff, with this, I mean, we've seen Alabama kind of struggle a little bit this year. It's not the typical Nick Saban Alabama team. Ty's won him a couple games. I think he played a huge part in that win in round 1 against Oklahoma, as quarterbacks tend to do. But with Indiana being favored 6.5 points against Alabama, if I were to say that 2 or 3 years ago,
yeah, we would.
Well, one, just saying Indiana makes the playoffs. Nonetheless, Indiana's number 1, Alabama's number 9, and the Hoosiers are favored in a playoff game against the Crimson Tide by a touchdown.
That's crazy.
It's kind of crazy. Shout out Kurt Signetti, who is running a real-life NCAA dynasty mode. All he does is win. Sure. Google him. All he does is win.
Except this week.
Ooh, a little Crimson Tide favoritism over here, huh?
Give me Alabama, dude. I think Alabama's going to capitalize on that momentum from Oklahoma. Indiana's been resting. And you got to think, Indiana felt so much joy, and this is just me speculating, they felt so much joy winning the Big Ten championship. They got it made. But Alabama's not satisfied. No. Is Indiana satisfied? They may be, because they've not done as much in their history. I think Alabama comes in and breaks their heart. It's a season-ending game for Indiana. I think Alabama's gonna beat them pretty good, maybe by like 10 points.
Wow.
Hey, all I gotta say is don't forget about Heisman Mendoza.
Ooh, I like that name.
He gonna go crazy.
Heisman Mendoza.
See, right. I hate to be that guy, but the torch is gonna get passed. And I feel like, unfortunately, the Big Ten is going to win their 3rd national title in a row.
So you have Indiana beating Alabama this game?
I do.
Go.
And I'm going to say by
Skyler?
10, unfortunately.
By 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like, okay, I like it.
I mean, I'm going to have to take Alabama with the points. With it being 6.5, I may buy
That's
it down
too much.
to 7.5 just in case. But
Alabama was down to Oklahoma by, what, 14 points, 17
It
points?
was 17, yeah.
tied it
And they
up by
came back.
halftime. Yeah.
They've had their back against the wall, and you're giving them a 6.5-point spread versus Indiana. I just don't see that happening. I really don't.
Ty had a couple big quotes after that win where he was saying they tried to write us off, but we didn't write back in the post game interview.
The aura.
And then,
The aura's he's aura maxing.
Yeah.
No, can I say, though, I feel like 50 Cent was low-key the real MVP of that playoff game.
When you look at the sidelines, whenever 50 Cent walked out onto the field, and you see, Indiana, bobbing their heads, this and
Oklahoma, yeah.
Oklahoma bobbing their heads, and then just you look over to the Alabama sideline, and they're going absolutely bonkers. They're like, oh my God, that's 50 Cent. We're not even in a football game right now. We're at a concert. And a shout out to Kalen DeBoer and the coaches for letting that moment happen too. A lot of times you'll see, you're supposed to be locked in. We're going into the fourth quarter, a lot on the line right here. We got to win. But no, just take a breather, enjoy the moment. This is once in a lifetime, just to be in.
They
a
had all the
moment that they're
momentum
in.
too.
They did have all the momentum at that point.
Once that pick six happened, I mean, it seemed like you knew where it was going.
And I was wanting Alabama to win, but with Oklahoma, how does a punter just drop the ball and literally drop the ball and not even be in range to kick it? How did that happen? Because that was another big moment.
It's not helping the stereotype that punters and kickers don't do much. I mean, you had Max Gilbert missing all season. You have the punters dropping punts. Do kickers on every team just sit around practice and just do nothing?
And the booty short bandit, Tate Sandell, Max Groza award winner.
No, you know what you called him.
No, listen. Back in that video, I said booty short bandit at first, and then when I was referencing what I said, I left out the short. I left out the shorts. I called him the booty bandit.
Yeah, which is great. But you got to look. You cannot blame. I don't know if anyone was blaming it on him, but he's been great all year. It's a tough environment to play. A playoff game. I know you're at home, but still, it's like he got you. He won you a lot of games.
Yeah.
And you can't really blame it all on him. I mean, the offense. It's on the offense for stalling and being so far back. What was 50+ yards he tried to kick from?
Something like that. They're pretty.
You'll live with that. If you're sending the best kicker out in the country out there, you'll live with that. And they had a chance if he makes those and they get an onside kick. I mean, you never know, but
yeah, Alabama with a 10-point win in that one. But with this Indiana game, this is not the same Alabama team as we've seen where they're just so dominant. And this is definitely not the same Indiana team that we've come used to seeing in our lifetime. I mean, they've never really been that great. Kirk Cignetti comes, and they go 11-0 last year before the final week they lose to Ohio State and then don't make the Big Ten championship game. And then after that, he said, we're going to be back. And Indiana's if you look at – I heard this on the radio listening to Josh and Swain earlier where – Josh Ward was saying there was a split that showed the percentage for each team of original recruits that are starting for the teams and then, transfers that they've gotten. And Georgia was 90% original recruits versus 10% transfers that are making their starts for the teams this year. And Indiana was almost a complete opposite. 2/3 of their starters are all transfers. So Kirk Cignetti has gathered the boys, rallied the troops. They're undefeated, number one, coming off a big high whenever they won the Big Ten championship for the first time since, I think, 1967 or something like that. Heisman Trophy winner, Fernando, what'd you call him?
Heisman Mendoza.
Heisman Mendoza, that's right. Fernando Heisman Mendoza.
Well,
It's not-
see,
it's
I
not the
respect
same
you
team.
boys going with Bama. It's just their run game has been so inconsistent this year.
That's true.
That's
Their run
my
game has been
biggest worry about this.
Yeah,
And is
they're-
it India's defense pretty good?
Yes.
They're very good. They held Ohio State to 13 points? Is that
It was
how much they
10
scored?
points.
10 points.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're the real deal. It's just hard to believe that they're a touchdown favorite over an Alabama team who, yes, has some losses this year. They look terrible in the SEC championship game, but they've also, let's pull up that strength of schedule, strength of record. They're Indiana number 1, Ohio State number 2, Alabama number 3. So they've had to play these tough games all year. They're very battle tested. Coming off a big win last week, they've got momentum. They were down 17-0, and since then have just built momentum going into this game. And whenever you think of guys, players, whatever, that are just absolutely destined for greatness, the two quarterbacks in this game, I feel like, are the top two that are left here in the college football playoffs. Ty Simpson, destined for greatness. Fernando Mendoza, destined for greatness. That dude is a freaking robot. Like, more so than Hendon Hooker was. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is an absolute robot. And this is, I hope it's a good game. I hope it's close. I don't want to see either team really get blown out in this one. I don't think that that's going to happen. And I just think there are too many points as far as that goes. Indiana minus 6.5. And we got to think, and I've said this a couple times before, but you think back to last year's playoffs, each team that had a first-round bye came out, looked bad, looked sluggish, rusty, and each team with the first-round bye lost in their first game in the quarterfinal round. So, again,
Rust or rest.
Yeah. And again, a couple of those teams, Boise State, Arizona State, you know, the writing was kind of on the wall in those games, but Oregon was the number 1 team in the nation last year, and they played in the Rose Bowl against Ohio State and got blown out. Ohio State had a ton of momentum coming off a win against Tennessee, and a lot of hate on their mind after losing to Michigan last year. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just too many points for me. So, Jacob, you've got Alabama outright. You've got them winning. Griff, you got Indiana, you said, by 10 points. We'll say 6.5 for the spread purposes. I'll take Alabama plus 6.5. And I just think that's what it's going to be so exciting. I can't wait.
I'm excited.
But then the last game of the quarterfinal round, a game that we've seen before, a very good game that we saw around the mid to second half point of the year. Number 6, Ole Miss. Number 3, Georgia. The last game was in between the hedges, a back and forth game. Ole Miss showed that they belonged. They were one of the best teams. This is their only loss of the year. They have a chance to avenge, but this one's gonna be without Old Lane. And Georgia, minus 6.5 point favorites, over under 55.5 in the Sugar Bowl. Now
That's what I alluded to last podcast I was on.
Yeah,
when it's
basically
two great
mentioned-
teams.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, just when it's two great teams with about equal talent, that's when the coaching shows, and that's where having Lane would be a benefit over their current coach. No offense to him, he did fine.
I feel like
he said that.
Yeah, I feel like last week when we see that matchup with Tulane, like you said, that's not going to be something where they miss Lane Kiffin.
It's not a chess match.
Yeah, I feel like they could have easily have basically doesn't matter who the coach is in that game. You could have Trinidad Chambliss calling the plays on offense. You could have their linebacker calling plays on defense, and they'd still win the game. But
you get Griffin calling plays. No offense. I'm just saying, like any of us.
Griffin put on the headset like he's in.
Hey, I hate to be that guy, but I'm convinced seeing all these screenplays these play callers want to run nowadays, I don't think it's that hard.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Griffin, here's the thing. Would you wear a visor? Because I don't trust people in a visor.
I would not. One, because my hair doesn't allow it, and two, I look like an idiot with one on.
Okay.
But
you'd look like Kirby.
Hey, the one thing I know is to run the ball on 3rd down and 1.
Yeah.
all these coordinators out here doing stupid crap. Get it together.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
Hey,
but
hey, next time we start clapping, Griffin's gonna do this.
Yeah. hey. I was only clapping, man.
yeah, shout out Kirby with that one. Somehow he managed to get out of that. But
In order to defeat your enemy, you must confuse your enemy
hey,
and yourself.
bars right there.
That's
yeah.
that's just the law of war. But yeah, go ahead.
But this is going to be a game where they do miss Lane. I don't like seeing these big spreads. I don't in this
Me neither.
quarterfinal round. One, because I want them to be competitive. I don't want it to be a 2-touchdown win for either team. But with this one, I think Lane is the difference. I think that one, even if they had Lane, they probably would. Maybe the line is still 2.5, 3.5 for Georgia, but I just don't think that Ole Miss will be able to hang. Even if they had Lane, they'd probably lose this game. And now without him, I do see them losing by at least a touchdown. But at the same time, Georgia didn't play last week. Ole Miss had a nice tune-up game to really get in the groove of things without Lane. So this isn't their if they had a bye week and now they're going into this game without Lane, I think it would be an absolute blowout. But with them having, a tune-up game, like I said, last week against Tulane and now going up against Georgia, neutral site, it's not in between the hedges. This one's going to be in New Orleans. Maybe they can keep it within a touchdown, but I'll take the Bulldogs, -6.5.
That's a hard one. Pause.
It is.
But it is.
Resume.
It is a hard. No, it is. It is hard though. Dang. But I don't know. Yeah, just give me Georgia. They looked really good in the SEC championship.
They did.
See, I'm going to be transparent. I saw some things at Ole Miss against Tulane that, looked a lot like they did the first time they played them.
Very true.
So, things might not be too different. Because don't they still have the same... Well, obviously it's the same players, but
I know,
don't they still have the same offensive coordinator?
I can't remember if he went with Lane or not.
Because I could have swore they gave him a decision.
I can't remember.
Like, stay through the playoff and you're not, coming with me or whatever. But
yeah,
I honestly feel like this one might show us shades of the last time these two played. Ole Miss scoring touchdowns on 5 straight possessions, but then, Georgia buckling down. I think it's going to be closer than 6.5, but I'm going to take Ole Miss by a field goal.
To win?
I think
Yes.
if Kirby and Georgia loses, they need to be criticized to death.
Criticize.
Yes.
That's absolutely for beating Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin, but then losing in the playoffs without him. Like there's no coming back from that. So
Yeah.
I think Kirby's going to coach his ass off. I think just give me Georgia.
Because, see, I feel like it's a disguise. Because when Lane Kiffin got let go at Alabama, what year was that? Was that 2018?
During the championship.
Going
or
into
like
Jalen
before
Hurts
the
and
championship.
Tua winning that national championship. See, Alabama didn't need him. Who's to say Ole Miss does?
Still had Nick
That's
Saban.
2018 Alabama.
I
They
know.
were so good.
I think
I'm just saying, I've seen Georgia be suspect too many times this year to be fully convinced that they will win.
But you've seen them be dominant, and they've already beat Ole Miss. So it's like,
true, and they are not losing any coaches, from what I understand. Maybe a
and
coordinator.
they're
I don't know.
and to be honest, we saw them scrape by a lot in the regular season. But for them to just go out and whoop Alabama, like for me, that made a huge impression. Obviously, I keep referring back to it, but just
It matters.
They did that. Just the fact that they did that, the fact that Lane isn't there, for me, I just think Kirby ain't gonna let that happen. So that's just me, though.
Did y'all see the LSU bowl game?
Oh, yeah, I
I
was going to
remember.
bring that up at some point.
Yeah.
Apparently, LSU fans were booing Lane already.
Yeah,
What?
He went to the press box for an interview, and I don't even remember who they were playing. I don't know who
I think they were
won.
playing Houston,
Yeah,
something like that.
it doesn't really matter because the main storyline, the main headline coming out of that game was Lane went up to the press box to do his TV interview in like the first half of the game, was saying how excited he was that, you know, Ole Miss got the win. Of course he was, because he gets paid an extra $150,000. But from
and to
LSU,
his respect, he built that for 6 years.
yeah, but he was really excited for that. And then he was talking about all the NIL recruits and stuff that people he was talking to, like he's just all business going forward, and really excited to be at LSU, really excited to join the team and be a part of the guys. And then as soon as his interview was done in the press box, he left the game. He got in his car and left.
Did he really?
Yep.
Yeah, he didn't stay the whole game. He didn't watch the team that he is now the head coach of.
We'll see. In Lane's defense, is Nussmeier coming back, or is he going to be
I would say
probably top
he should
4-round draft
He should
pick?
have a
but,
a chance to get his draft stock up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Lane is definitely going to hit the portal. I could see Trinidad Chambliss jumping ship and joining LSU with Lane after this is all said and done. Who knows? But he's going to do kind of like a Kirk Cignetti with LSU, where he just kind of tears it all apart and builds it back up from the ground as far as the players go, gets recruits in there, gets transfers in there. And I think LSU will be a problem going forward, but it's not a great look for Lane to not stick around at the bowl game and be filmed getting in your big SUV and driving off in the middle of the game. So
No, there's no harm in staying.
no harm in staying at all.
Yeah.
And you can still
There
answer
is-
phone calls and do all that, but when you leave, I don't know. Not a good look.
I agree.
But so Griff's got Ole Miss winning this outright. Jacob, what'd you say with this game? Ole Miss and Georgia?
I think Georgia's going to win.
Yeah, I do too. I guess I'll take Georgia minus 6.5. I don't like laying points like that, but I think they are the better team, and without Lane, I think they struggle a little bit. We'll see.
Yeah,
But,
I think it's going to be a lot of agony this week for Indiana fans and Ole Miss fans. I really do.
I kind of hope that.
Well, hey, can I just take a second to personally apologize to all Colts fans for picking them to win the Super Bowl, and they have lost 6 straight games since I said that.
The Griffin curse. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. Shout out to the Colts.
No one honestly could have. I don't think anyone could have predicted the downfall, and it's really just unfortunate because it's a lot of injuries.
Which, hey, Phillip Rivers has looked good. I'll give it
They
to
had
him.
to go get 45-year-old Phillip Rivers. Yeah,
Grandpa
and
Phil.
It's a great story.
Yeah.
It's a great story. Like, I'm happy for him, and it's really cool. And I'd love if he played another year, but it's just
Ain't no way
you
in
had
hell.
things going good with
Yeah.
Daniel Jones.
Yeah, and to see him get hurt the way he did, he was playing through a hairline fracture in his fibula, and what was it, a torn ACL? Ended up
I
being
think
the
it was a
result of
torn
that.
Achilles.
Yeah, Achilles.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
But
And it was a comeback year for him too. You saw
Yeah.
him. He's at the Giants. Was he at Pittsburgh as well?
No, he
he
went to
worked at
Minnesota
Minnesota.
last year. Yeah.
Yeah,
he was
so
their
the Vikings,
backup.
Okay.
he was a backup to Sam Darnold. But
So it was like a really good year, a bounce back for him, and I was, you love to see that happen, but
yeah,
man, Colts fans, that sucks.
and this happens
Shout out
after
Spencer.
Spencer, who's that?
Spencer Walter, he's a real one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
But this also, all that happened after guy that they spent the number 4 draft pick overall on, Anthony Richardson, a year or two ago.
Yeah.
Hurts himself. Not only hurts himself in pregame, but fractures his orbital bone in his eye from a
I think
elastic
it was.
band.
It sounds goofy. I think a trainer like stretched it and it broke and it hit him right in his face. Like that.
Yeah.
That does sound painful.
But it's just the fact that all that were to happen for the Colts after looking like they were going to be the number 1 seed in the AFC throughout the first half of the year and looking dominant. Jonathan Taylor looking crazy. Daniel Jones looking like one of the best in the MVP conversations. Daniel Jones, and for all that to happen for the Colts, it sucks. And I kind of feel him. I feel for him because as a Packers fan, we've seen what's happened over the last few weeks with the Packers, and it's just not that great.
Well, it's injuries, man.
It's injuries.
I mean, you look how the Bucks too. How the Bucks
Yeah.
falling off. A lot of them are injured too. So that's how it is, man. It's a war of attrition. See, whoever comes out at the end, that's whoever's healthy. That's a part of abilities. Availability. Yeah. So
shout out to my mom tuning in from Jackson, Tennessee. We're all over the state, boys. We got
Let's
people
go.
tuning in from Knoxville. We got people tuning in from Nashville. West Tennessee is in the building now. But yeah.
Can we get outside of the state lines, please?
I mean, we were technically outside of the state lines, and then my girlfriend moved to Tennessee. So, but yeah, one more game to talk about here in the college football season this week. A big one, if you will, for the home team. We got Tennessee, Illinois tomorrow evening. Music City Bowl, Nashville, Tennessee. Tennessee a 2.5-point favorite, over under 61.5. We know the tale of the tape. We know the tale of the tape as far as Tennessee goes this season. A couple things to mention though that I found looking into this game earlier. There's a couple single season records on the line for our boy Joey Swagular. Okay. Joey will have a chance to cement himself in the UT single-season record books. One touchdown pass will tie him with Heath Shuler in the 9th spot. 169 passing yards, which he gets 200 a game at least. 169 passing yards will place him in second for yards in a season. Right now, he's behind Peyton Manning back in 1997 and Tyler Bray in 2012. And if he were to throw for 300 yards in this game, he would join Peyton and Tyler Bray as the only quarterbacks with 5 or more 300-yard games in a season. So shout out Joey Aguilar. Shout out Joey Aguilar. I mean, he's come in. He's looked pretty good. More than pretty good, I'd say. Joey was just a blessing in disguise with the whole Nico situation that happened in the spring. Didn't know who our quarterback was going to be. Won us some games, lost us a game or two. But overall, if he were to come back next year with the NCAA ruling, I think we'd all welcome him back in with open arms. But
what a story for him too. Just the fact he was like pressure washing 4 years ago.
He was about to become a firefighter.
Yeah, how does that work?
But yeah, so shout out Joey Aguilar. A lot on the line for him potentially tomorrow. Tennessee a 2.5-point favorite. I don't see a way that we lose. I mean, knock on wood, I don't see a way we lose this game. I think it'll be a 1 or 2 possession game in favor of Tennessee when it's all said and done. I think we are both 8-4, Tennessee and Illinois, and when you look at the schedules, we're 8-4 with a much tougher schedule than Illinois is. 8-4 with their schedule. They got absolutely. I mean, they were in the top 10 at one point before they got absolutely shapapped by Indiana, 63-10.
See, that's the only game of theirs I've watched all year.
Yeah, they did have a big win against USC, if you want to count that one.
Oh, yeah, wasn't that a game-winning field goal? I think
it was
I
real
remember
close.
that.
I think so. I'm pretty sure that was at USC.
Yeah.
But they lost to Ohio State like 29-7 or something like that. That was another big game that they played. But as far as this matchup goes, I think we are going to be potentially going to be head and shoulders above Illinois. There may be a reason why the line is -2.5. I'm not really in tune with who all has entered the portal for Illinois. I do know we'll go back over the Tennessee players that have entered the portal. Peyton Lewis, Jake Merklinger, as well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he hit the portal last week. And
wow.
And then Brazel's not playing.
Brazel's gonna go to the NFL. He's out of it.
And then I saw Weldon was telling me Joshua Josephs isn't playing either.
Yeah, so here's the list that I had a couple weeks ago. Will not be playing in the bowl game. Chris Brazzell, linebacker Arian Carter, obviously cornerback Jermod McCoy, defensive lineman Jamal Wallace, Kellen Lindstrom, Brandon Ains, all entering the portal, as well as Peyton Lewis and Jake Merklinger. But I think that just shows that George McIntyre is the guy under Joey Aguilar, and then we'll have Faison Brandon coming in next year, which I don't think that Heupel doesn't like to start true freshmen, especially at quarterback, with the type of offense Tennessee runs. But whenever it comes to next year, it'll be him. It'll be George McIntyre battling it out for that QB1 spot. Obviously, McIntyre has a off-season or two under his belt already. And then if Aguilar doesn't come back, then maybe we're looking at another transfer quarterback coming in, kind of like an Aguilar situation this year. Somebody with experience, somebody with seniority who can lead the team and show the younger guys how it's done, week in and week out. But
well, see, I've been seeing Tennessee tied with Brendan Sorsley's name a little bit, the guy that was at Cincinnati last year. And then it's a bit of a long shot, but the quarterback that was at USF was also on that list.
What were you saying, Jacob? You hate something?
I mean, and this may not be, totally correct or anything. I just really hate that we cannot recruit a quarterback and start the quarterback.
Yeah.
It just sucks that we have to always go to the portal. I know it's worked out with Hendon Hooker. Nico was for a year, and I wish that would have lasted longer. But if we have Faison and George McIntyre battling it out, why would we have to go to the portal? It just...
Because, I'd be confident enough in McIntyre or Brandon if he wins the spot. But, I agree with you. We shouldn't have to, every year pluck another guy just to have him for a year.
And I know, we were wanting to get Sam Levitt from Arizona State at one point, or even the North Texas quarterback, whatever. I forgot his name. Apparently, he's really good.
He is.
But I just, and that's great. That's good talent. I just, as a Tennessee fan, I want to see us develop a quarterback. I want to see Josh Heupel and the coaching staff develop a quarterback and have consistency for 2 years. That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah.
But look, you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm not in their shoes. So.
Very true. Very true. But like I was alluding to, if it is McIntyre and Faison Brandon coming in next year, and they do have a battle for the quarterback one spot, and what was that face you're making?
Sorry.
But if they were to battle it out and Brandon were to win the QB1 spot, and he earned that and showed Josh Heupel that he can come in and take control of the offense, then I'll feel great about it. Or same thing with George McIntyre. If he shows that he is the guy, then I'll feel great about it. Whoever Josh Heupel thinks is the guy going forward, I'm going to put my trust and confidence in, because I do have trust and confidence in Josh Heupel when it comes to quarterback play and calling an offense. But if we were to have a guy that is proven already, that is out there, has entered the transfer portal, like a Sam Levitt, like the North Texas guy, cannot remember his name for some reason, or the Sorsby from Cincinnati, I feel like if any of those guys were out there and they showed interest in wanting to come play for Tennessee, you might as well pay him a couple $1 million, come on over, and more than likely they're going to be winning the spot. Joey Aguilar fell into a great spot because all we had were young underclassmen quarterbacks that he had to battle against for the QB1 spot, and didn't have a whole lot of time to do it, and showed that he was able to get it done, versus a guy that's been here for a couple years and another one that's been here for 1 year. But they were still both so young and unproven that he was able to come in and take that spot. So if that were to happen again this year, I would have confidence in whoever it was. But I agree with you, Jacob, because I do want to see Faison Brandon. I do. Or George McIntyre, another 5-star recruit that we got in at the quarterback spot. So all that to say, I'm excited either way, and I would love to see what happens next year. I'd love to see how this transfer portal window plays out. There's going to be one
Things
here.
are looking up.
Things are looking up. I can't remember when it actually goes into effect.
I think it's January 2nd.
Okay.
And like 14 days or 10 days?
It's something like that. It's a little bit more than a week. And then there's going to be another transfer portal in the spring, unfortunately. I think they need to figure that out. But make it one transfer portal in after the season is over. As far as the national championship goes.
I'd say make them wait till the spring games.
For the transfer portal, I just don't think that's enough time to get a guy in. We got lucky with Joey Aguilar coming in when he did in June. Like, he had 2 months before the season, 3 months before the season started, and was able to do a pretty good job. But as far as the transfer portal, I think make it one and put it after the national championship game where we can have a guy come in and really learn the system and have enough time to get acquainted with everything. But as far as the Music City Bowl goes, though, boys, Tennessee, Illinois, what are the picks, Jacob? Who's winning outright?
Give me Tennessee. Give me Tennessee outright. Man, this is irrelevant, kind of, but win it for the basketball team. Win it for the basketball team. Avenge that loss. Avenge the previous Music City Bowl loss. Avenge the Vanderbilt loss. You can't end your season losing to your little brother like that. So, come on, please. Like, there's a lot to play for, and do it for yourself. If you're on the football team, do it for yourself. Do it for the fans. You got to go out there. You got to kick that ass. Give me Tennessee to win by 55 points.
I will say this is another opportunity, like you said, to play for yourself. A couple guys are going to be looking to get paid a little bit more money as they go into these new off-season negotiations that we see year in and year out now with every team in college football.
We're so cooked.
Yeah. A couple guys that come to mind, Mike Matthews, a guy that hasn't really had the best season. He's made some plays, played second or third fiddle behind Brazel and maybe even Braylon Staley, who will be asking for more money or else he'll transfer somewhere else because Braylon Staley is a young guy, very, very fast. Standout. Like, he did his thing this year. Braylon Staley was a name that I said going into the year, look out for this guy. I feel like he's going to be pretty good because I played the game for about a month before the season started, and that was one of my go-to guys was Braylon Staley down the sideline. But
Brazel is goated on the game.
Yeah, Brazel's good, and he'll be probably a top 3 round draft pick if I had to guess. But yeah, it makes me think that this is another opportunity for guys like Staley and Matthews to put some things on the tape. And because they're going to be looking for more money, as every player does in the offseason now. They all got agents. They all got contracts. I saw the USC football Instagram make a post that said, I think it was their running back that they re-signed, like it was the damn NFL. Like, it was crazy.
You got 3 with that one. You got 3 Clutch Sports black SUVs with tinted windows outside of USC negotiation offices.
Yeah, it was so crazy because he was in a conference room sitting at this big wooden table with a pen and paper, like signing it, taking a picture, like they were. It's crazy. We are cooked.
It's getting ridiculous, is what it really is doing. Yeah. Because picture trying to explain this to our brains when we were 5 years old watching college football, how it was meant to be.
Yeah, Pac-12 at night.
Yeah.
Type stuff. But so, Griffin, give us your predictions for this game real quick.
I'm gonna take the Vols by 10. I just think, missing Brazel and a couple more pieces on offense is going to hurt just a tiny bit. But I feel like our defense will be too much for them, and I would like to see Joey break that record, which you said he'd be moving into second place right behind.
A couple different records. Yeah. He would be moving into second place for yards in a season if you were to get 169 or so.
Yeah,
I think it was.
So hopefully that happens. I'm I'm hoping that we can get Bishop 200 yards on the ground as well, but that would be if everything was perfect.
Yeah. Jacob's got Tennessee winning by 55 points. I'll take Tennessee minus 2.5. But yeah, and then kind of giving an update on the NFL real quick before we get off of here. A lot to look forward to this week as we break into Week 18 of the NFL. Couple things to play for. I mean, we got guys that have. We got some talk in the chat for Griff. Josie J and Dessert in the chat. Shout out Josie J. Griff, you going to have to toss that Bengals jersey next week when 12 beats y'all.
Hey, Shadur ain't going to beat my Bengals, man. I'll tell you that right now, Aaron.
Some smack talk in the chat. Some smack chat. NFL, we got some teams that have basically – the playoffs are pretty much already set in stone except for 2 spots, one on each side in the conferences. In the AFC, Denver, New England, Jacksonville, Houston, the Chargers, and Buffalo have all clinched a playoff spot, but the seeding could change a little bit this week. Pittsburgh and Baltimore will be playing, and the winner of that will get the 4th seed. In the NFC, pretty much the same thing with Seattle, Chicago, Philly, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Green Bay. They've all clinched their playoff berths. Thankfully, we've clinched it already before these injuries happened. And Carolina and Tampa Bay will face off for the 4th seed this week. San Francisco.
That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, San Francisco and Seattle will play for the number 1 overall seed. So, Jacob, one that you said was a good one, Panthers at the Buccaneers, 4:30 on Saturday. That'll be the first game of Week 18. No games on Thursday night and no game on Monday night this week. It's all on Saturday.
I like both
and
these
Sunday.
quarterbacks, man. I really like Baker Mayfield. I really like Bryce Young. They're both really easy to root for, in my opinion.
Yeah. Who do you think wins?
Gosh, man, didn't Carolina beat the Bucs the first go around?
They did.
By like a field goal or so?
Yeah, it was a field goal. It didn't go into overtime. It was 23-20, I think.
Yeah. Dude, man, I don't know. It's hard to – they barely scrape by.
Tampa Bay is a minus 3-point favorite. 55% of the money is on Carolina.
So you wouldn't touch this on public fades?
Nope.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't know. Give me – I mean, just for – this is at Carolina.
I will say this. With Tampa Bay's loss to Miami yesterday, they were 5.5-point favorites. They fell to Miami outright 20-17, and that was a public fade in favor of the Dolphins. Shout out public fades, 2-1 again this week. 39-22 overall on the season. But
that's really good.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Give me okay. Just give me the
Panthers.
give me the Bucs. I think they're gonna.
Tampa Bay is 1-7 in their last 8 games.
Jacob, they just lost to Quinn Ewers, for God's sake. The Panthers are going to win this game.
That's true. I mean, that's a good point. Baker Mayfield, man, he's got that dog in him, dude.
And Buccaneers are also 5-11 against the spread this year, which is not great.
Okay, well, my heart says the Bucs, my head says the Panthers. So take that what you will. I just give me the Bucs, but I think the Panthers will. I won't be shocked if they win. It's such a close game, you know.
All the marbles on Saturday, and another one Saturday night where all the marbles will be on the table. Seattle at San Francisco for number 1 in the NFC playoffs, first overall seed on the line.
That's actually pretty crazy because San Francisco's dealt with injuries this year too.
San Francisco has had a lot of injuries, and there was one point where they went through all these injuries and were missing a bunch of key pieces, and they were still like 8-4 or something like that. They beat the Rams. Yeah, they beat the Rams without all that. Without all those players.
They rolled their G League team out there. They rolled their G League team
Mac Jones
out on the field.
That was a big public fade, too, as well.
Money Mac. Yeah, Money Mac. Yeah, they went out and beat Stafford, but I mean that's really good. I think give me Sam Darnold in Seattle for that one. But didn't you say the Steelers and Ravens are playing?
Yeah, that'll be on Sunday. With this one though, Seattle the pick'em favorite -1.5 on the road. And the thing about this is, obviously, it's for number one in the NFC West, and it's also for the number one overall seed in the NFC. But if the 49ers were to win, with the Super Bowl being played at San Francisco Stadium in Santa Clara, if the 49ers were to win, they would get home field advantage through the whole playoffs, including the Super Bowl. So they may not, if they win this one, they may not have to go on the road for the rest of the season. Or they will not go on the road for the rest of the season, actually.
See, just because I think the NFL won't let that happen, give me the Seahawks.
You never know. I mean, Tom Brady won his Super Bowl with Tampa at the Bucs Stadium. So
yeah, I do remember that, yeah.
Sam Darnold's a dog, though. Let's just be honest. But Brock Purdy played crazy, too.
That game last night was insane.
He likes to hit the Dougie, too. Or try. They hate it when a white boy got some motion. But,
yeah, that's awesome. Shout out George Kittle.
Yeah. The Saints at the Falcons, 1 o'clock on Sunday. Not much. Let's just go over the games that actually mean something. So we'll skip the Bengals and Browns game.
Oh, come on.
Hey, both are mathematically eliminated. That does not matter.
I will say I would take a loss if it got Zach Taylor fired. But even if we lose this game, I doubt they're going to fire him.
Yeah.
Because they're wimps.
It's hard to do anything when you don't have your starting quarterback that you pay $50 million a year to. But shout out to the Packers for that point as well. I will say the Bengals -7.5 point favorites against the Browns. Cincinnati at home. 84% of the money is on the Bengals to cover 7.5, meaning they would have to win by at least 8 points. And one thing that I've noticed about the Browns, and I've said on Public Fades quite a bit, is the Browns defense is like a Super Bowl caliber defense when they're playing at home.
Yes.
When they go on the road, it just doesn't travel well. So I think that's part of the reason why. Because, I mean, we saw them play at home this week and beat Pittsburgh outright 10-6. And with them being on the
Mike
road,
Tomlin got to win number 9 and said, "Let me stop."
Yeah, as he does.
He did the whoa.
My work here is done, fellas.
Yeah. So, Griffin, how you feel about that? Are you covering? You losing? What's going on?
I think we'll cover fully, but like you said, the Browns' defense may be one of the best in the NFL when they're at home. Like, legitimately. Just Myles Garrett, in my opinion, even though TJ Watt is right there behind him, I still think Myles Garrett's the best pass rusher in the league. Easily.
Yeah. And just one sack away from breaking the record. So, another game we'll skip over, the Cowboys at the Giants. Who cares? Packers at the Vikings. The Vikings are already eliminated. They are 5.5 point favorites at home over Green Bay. I will say I think
is Malik Willis better than Jordan Love?
Listen here, buddy. I think Malik Willis, if this were possible, I would love to sign him to a lifetime backup quarterback spot on the Green Bay Packers. I love Malik Willis. I love when he comes in the game. Matt LaFleur changes up how he calls the offense. A lot more read options that I think they should run with Jordan Love a lot more often, but they don't. There's not a throw on, and Malik Willis has looked great the last couple years, last couple games, and really last couple years when he came in for Jordan Love last year and didn't lose a game.
Every year.
We were in the playoffs, but that was early in the year where we could have lost a couple and set us behind the 8 ball, and he was able to come in and win for us. But what I was getting at is Malik Willis has looked great, and he's made some very, very pretty throws. Like he looks like he has played for the Packers and been in that system for years now. But there's not a throw on the field that Malik Willis can make that Jordan Love can't. He's going to be making all the throws that Malik Willis can and then some. He's not as agile on the ground, which I think goes back to Matt LaFleur, just kind of calling the game a little bit differently when Malik Willis comes in as opposed to Jordan Love. But, there's a reason why we drafted Jordan Love in the first round and pay him $50 million a year. That's all I'll say about that. But he is kind of injury prone. And the Vikings are minus 5.5 point favorites with 84% of the money on Minnesota. So
public fade.
See, I think that's because of how Minnesota played on Christmas.
That, and they'll probably be getting J.J. McCarthy back, and the Packers have nothing to play for in this game other than to break into double-digit wins. But they're going to be resting a lot of players, and a lot of players are hurt anyways. We are so, and I wouldn't even just say banged up. We are broken. And
it's like the Lions were last year. Like, I hate to make that comparison, but it's just so many. What is it, like 8 players? Probably more.
I think it's probably more. And it's not just like hamstring injuries and in ankles.
Yeah.
Like broken bones, concussions. Like there have been at least 3 players in the last few weeks that have torn their ACL or snapped their leg. Like that's the type of injuries I'm talking about that we've seen this year with Green Bay. And also Saturday night, Evolve for Life, Kamal Hadden was one of those players somebody that I can't remember if he got drafted or not, but he played for.
I think he got drafted by Kansas City. I could be wrong.
Kansas City is who he played for, and then Green Bay picked him up I think last year, and he's been a guy that's kind of like a practice squad guy, hadn't been making the team or anything like that, and he's got this next shot with Green Bay, and he's worked his way up to being able to get some playing time, partly due to injuries and stuff on the field, and then he goes down and has to get carted off. Looked like he broke his ankle or leg or something. I mean, gruesome injuries for Green Bay over the last few weeks, and it's very tough to watch. Hopefully we can get going. Obviously Jordan Love's not going to be playing this week. Give him another week of rest. Couple more guys. Hopefully we can get back in the lineup.
You're gonna play the true QB1.
Yeah. Clayton Tune, baby. Because Malik Willis ended up leaving the game last week as well. So on Saturday.
No.
Yeah. So I mean, just throw this whole season away at this point. Hopefully we can.
But
get
it started out
going.
so good.
It did.
Y'all were the best team for like a few weeks in the beginning.
And really, there was a point where we were 9-3 and 1, and the 3 losses were to Cleveland, Carolina, and
wasn't it San Francisco? Or am I wrong?
We didn't play them this year. We have one more loss before we lost to Denver, and it's just escaping me. But they were all Philly. They were all 3-point losses, and then a tie. So if we would have scored 3 more points in each game or 4 more points in those games, and didn't miss an extra point against the Cowboys, we would have been undefeated before we got to the Denver game. And we were literally up 9 points on Denver. Michael Parsons tears his ACL. The next drive, Christian Watson goes down. The next drive, somebody else goes down. We had 7 injuries in that game, and we're in the lead by 9, ended up losing by however many. So, and we haven't won since. I don't know how to fix
Watson
that.
Back?
Yeah, he's playing. He's looking
okay.
He's
good.
looking good.
I was
too.
worried. It's not like too bad of an injury.
The Bears have clinched the NFC North at this point. The Lions are out of the playoffs. Let's see. I'm trying to find some games that actually mean something, which does include Sunday Night Football, as we were alluding to. It's the Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Ravens are minus 3.5 point favorites. No word on Lamar just yet, but I guarantee you he plays. And
Snoop
also,
Huntley. I think it's gonna be Snoop Huntley. He is the Malik Willis of the Ravens.
Yeah, but I got a bone to pick with the Ravens. Obviously, who just defeated the banged up, broken Green Bay Packers on Saturday night in Lambeau Field.
Okay, that's a bone to pick, like a broken bone to pick,
Yeah.
or what?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a bone sticking out. I'm trying to pick at it.
A Green Bay player's bone.
No. Tyler Huntley threw for 1 touchdown pass, and there were a lot of third down conversions
the statue
that he picked up on the ground. Picked up third downs on the ground, but Derrick Henry ran for over 200 yards and 4 touchdowns for Derrick Henry. And Snoop Huntley's on the sideline wearing a cheese grater hat.
Build the statue. Build the Snoop Huntley statue outside Baltimore
For like
Stadium.
5 minutes. He just had it on. Like...
What? I mean, that's y'all's daddy right there.
Oh, come on. Stop it.
Yes, what?
Stop
He
it.
wore the cheat. Like, what else is he not your daddy? I mean, he beat y'all 41-27.
He handed the ball off to Derrick Henry all game, who ran it down
Yeah,
our throats.
but it's different. It's Snoop Huntley handing the ball. If it's Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry's going to fumble it, and they're going to lose on a game.
No, if it's Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry doesn't touch the ball.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, Lamar drops the ball when it gets snapped to him. You know?
Yeah. All right.
No, Snoop Huntley, totally deserving. Like I said, building the statue. I mean, Derrick Henry's done just enough in that past game to make up for those lost fumbles, those game-losing fumbles. So, Snoop Huntley's he's been the person that's always been there. He has
always been there.
Week 2 or week 3 of the season, but you know what I'm saying.
So,
he owns the Packers. Like, he is y'all's dad, you know.
See, what?
The rage bait is going.
Yeah.
Was that 10 out of 10?
Okay, yeah. It's just rage bait. Calm down. He doesn't actually mean this.
When are we going to start having Jordan Love over Snoop Huntley conversations? Like, Jordan Love has a lot of room he's got to make up.
Oh, stop it. Come on. Now I know you just picking at my bones. Yeah, so Ravens at the Steelers. 3.5-point favorites for Baltimore. I would say Lamar probably plays in this game. This will be for the 4th seed, home field advantage in the playoffs. Loser doesn't make the playoffs. 3.5-point favorites for Baltimore with 78% of the money on the Ravens. They're at Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin has the Ravens number.
Hey, he's already got 9 wins, though. That's why I'm taking Baltimore.
By the transitive property, that means Mike Tomlin is Green Bay's father. Right?
So the Steelers. I'm gonna take the Steelers plus 3.5. That may end up being a public fade. I haven't looked into the full slate as far as all the splits and the money and all that. But I would say Steelers plus 3.5. That's a good number. They're at home. Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to stop playing just yet. They beat him earlier in the year. I don't know. Give me the Steelers. Griffin's got the Ravens. What about you, Jacob?
I'll take Snoop Huntley in the Ravens dynasty.
What if it's Lamar starting though?
I don't care if even if it's Lamar starting, I'll take Snoop Huntley and the Ravens dynasty to win.
It's crazy saying even if Lamar is starting. Like that's.
Well, see, last
Snoop
night
Huntley's
they
team.
were saying it's about 60-40 leaning on the 40 of Lamar not playing. Like
he's had
he's
a really
40.
rough year with injuries.
Yeah.
So
He has. But yeah, I'll take
mean,
Steelers plus 3.5. Give it to me.
it's Snoop's team. That's my point. So
All right. If that's how you feel.
he don't wear that cheese head hat for nothing.
It wasn't a cheese head hat. It was a cheese grater hat.
What was it? That's probably looked weird.
It was it was like a gray long hat that had holes in it like a cheese grater.
Swiss cheese.
Yeah, that's what our defense
Y'all are
looked
Swiss
like
cheese.
whenever. Yeah, our defense looked like Swiss cheese when Derrick Henry got the ball for sure.
See, that man deserves a statue, and I know the Titans ain't ever gonna give him one. So
Yeah, you know what's crazy? hypothetically, the Titans right now could have Malik Willis at quarterback, Derrick Henry at running back, A.J. Brown at wide receiver, and Mike Vrabel as their coach.
Facts.
Wow.
Very terribly run franchise.
Like, I'll forever be a Patriots hater, but I'm happy they're doing well.
I like
just because it makes the Titans look even stupider.
Yeah,
like
they were stupid. They were stupid, pissing Vrabel off, trading away A.J. Brown for
trading everybody.
A pick that they used to get Traylon Burks, and then
it should be a crime how many years they had Ryan Tannehill as their starting quarterback. Respectfully,
but even then,
he had a good year though.
Yeah,
he had a couple good years. Like, they weren't bad with Ryan Tannehill, but that also shows you that even with Ryan Tannehill, Mike Vrabel and Derrick Henry got that team to the number 1 overall seed in the AFC.
Yeah.
Going into the playoffs, in which they lost to
my Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
You got to give me something to be happy about, Skyler.
In a game, in a season where they went all the way to the Super Bowl and
haven't done anything since.
Yeah. I was looking for the answer to that riddle was lost.
Thank you, Mike Brown.
But yeah, so I got the Steelers. Y'all two got the Ravens. Anything else y'all want to hit on before we leave? Before we head out of here?
No, that's about it for me.
Anything for you, Griff?
I'm trying to think.
Any final words?
We forgetting anything?
SEC basketball will be starting soon.
Oh, yeah.
After this last game. I may be going to that one. So
start off with Arkansas, right? Is it Arkansas or Texas?
I believe it's Arkansas.
I think it's Arkansas, then Texas, actually. But yeah, a lot to look forward to. College hoops are about to really turn
Arkansas.
Up. They're about to really turn up. Tennessee does have a game tomorrow night against SC State, right? South Carolina State. So that'll be going on. I think it's stupid that they're having a basketball game the same day as the Vols bowl game. But I know that was something that was already on the schedule before we made it to the Music City Bowl. But anyways, yeah. Lots to look forward to. College hoops about to really turn up here in the next week or two. This will be the last episode of 2025, boys. I want to thank you guys as well as Kyle and everybody else who's helped out with $1 Million Radio this year. We got started with UFC this year. We got started with Public Fades this year. The TikTok has gained over 1,100 followers since the beginning of the football season. Our subscribers on YouTube are up to almost 130. So we keep going up. We keep going up. And I really have enjoyed being able to do this live as well, so I don't have to sit there for 5 hours editing before we get to post it and then start making clips. So I get to hit stop streaming here in a second, and I get to pull it in and start making clips from that. So
awesome.
Shout out to you guys, though.
You.
What's that?
Grateful for you.
I'm grateful for you guys. And shout out to y'all for sticking with me and doing this year. Almost to the end of our second football season. So as long as we keep it up, then the sky is the limit, as they say.
Yes, sir.
So shout out to you guys. Thanks for everybody that's watched all over the state of Tennessee, because we are not outside of the state just yet anymore. But one of these days, we'll get some Kentucky folks. We'll get some North Carolina, South Carolina folks. And, we'll be worldwide at one point. But as far as this episode goes, I appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll be back at it hopefully again next week as we start getting ready to get into the NFL playoffs, reactions for the quarterfinal rounds from this week, and then get into SEC and conference play for college basketball. And that is a very exciting time of the year. And before we know it, boys, it's going to be March Madness.
Oh, yeah. It's
going to be March Madness, and we're going to have Mackenzie win the bracket again, I think. You think that'll happen?
Yeah, right.
Oh, also, we did have the championship game of our $1 Million Radio Fantasy League. And so we do have a winner for that.
I wonder who it is.
I was the winner of that, so shout out to me. And the championship game was me and my girlfriend. So, yeah, a lot of stiff competition in the league this year. But once again, thank you guys for watching. Everybody that's tuned in over the last few weeks as we've gone live, and those who tune in after the video is done and posted onto YouTube. But this will be it for $1 Million Radio Live today. Go Vols. Go, go teams in the playoffs. Public Fade's going to be coming out on Friday night. So tune in for that. And as always, we'll see you next time.